Guys, this might just be one of the most valuable videos I've put out on my YouTube channel. So I highly encourage that you watch the entire thing front to back and really make sure you're paying attention to the details and actually listening. Don't put it on a side window and just like listen to it. Like actually make sure you're paying attention and even potentially writing down the concepts that you've seen, right? If you have any questions about the concepts listed in this video, please ask them in the comments. This is the one video that I'm going to make sure that I read every single comment and reply to every single comment on this YouTube video. So really make sure that you're doing that and enjoy the video. What we're going to be doing is covering the entire game. Obviously, I think we can actually learn a lot. So we're covering from front to back, from the early game, mid game, and end game, and tell you every little detail that I would do differently and why as well. Like the most important thing that you should understand whenever VOD reviewing is the why, and that's why it's sometimes beneficial to have someone more experienced with you, the coach, right? Someone who's played the game. So that's I mean, the approach that you're taking right now is to VOD review with me. I think that's a really good thing.
Right there. I see my name.
Perfect.
No, I landed SOLOS.
You landed here. Yep. So did you look around when you landed? Do you remember?
I think so.
Okay. So if you didn't, then you should. But I think the most important thing, I mean, I'm guessing just your behavior right here, the fact that you know it's uncon because you're like sort of like, it seems like you're relaxed. Like, I don't know. It's just the vibe that I'm getting, right? Like, it doesn't seem like you're stressing out. You're not looking around. Like, you just know you're uncon. So it's, I'm going to guess you did look around. And then also the fact is that, right, do you know about these surrounding areas? Because the number one most important thing is more loot the better. No matter, even if you have an entire uncon POI like Sludgy Swamp to yourselves, because of the fact that launch pads exist, and launch pads happen because of floor spawns, right? And if you want a better chance of getting launch pads, which is very valuable in solos, you need to find more loot pads, right? So looking at these areas while you're gliding, okay, is there someone landing here? Is there someone landing here? Is there someone landing here? Is there someone at Flesh Factory? Maybe I can go there after. What about this alien base, right? All these information, like all these little pieces of data could help you so much early game, right? Because it's not enough. Like, if you find a game where you're really lucky to get uncon, you should abuse it as far as you can and find a plan after your POI. Because it's so easy to loot your POI, right? It's not that hard. After that, it's like, it's a hard part. Like, what should I do after, right? You're actually lucky. You pulled zone, right? So in this case, what I would do is like get this all of this right away, and then maybe even rotate to some, you know, uncon POI on the side or some loot path that you know of. Right, so that's going to be really important, I think.
All right. Something that I do is when I get con at Slurpee, I usually prioritize mats.
Yep.
More.
Yep, I agree. I think it's a good thing to go for. Yeah, I think if even go deeper in that, it's prioritize metal, right? Because wooden brick you can find throughout the map, but metal is generally more rare. And especially with the POI like Sludgy, you can get all these metal fences. These fences are way more effective than this, in my opinion, but I could be wrong. I actually don't know how much those pipes give.
Those fences gives a lot more.
Yeah, so you should actually know all the efficient metal farming spots in your POI, and then just like make a really efficient path. So nice, you found a launch pad. So the only thing that really left over is like upgrading your shotgun, because great attack is not that usable. However, if you have enough mobility, you can actually get away with having a really bad shotgun and get good placement in solos. That's my opinion, because of the fact that if you play in a playstyle where you don't have to actually fight anyone in close range, then your shotgun doesn't matter, right? You can play like, okay, I have a gray shotgun, I'm gonna now play this game in a way where I don't need to fight anyone. Does that make sense? Because, you know, if you fight someone with a great attack, the chances are, okay, yeah, odds are you're not gonna win that. Like, and people are right when they say like, okay, sometimes RNG is like really bad for you. Sometimes like that's all that happens. Like maybe you just don't find a pump. Like, what can you do? But the thing that you can do is change your playstyle to match what you have in your loot pool, right? Like in your inventory. I think that's something that really important that a lot of people don't actually keep track of, is the fact that I don't have a good shotgun, I'm gonna play a little bit more passive. I have a spaz, I can now fight. Does that make sense? Like that
yeah.
Really important. So how you play the game, it should be dictated on your loot. I think that's like one of the biggest, like that one line, like I'm gonna say it again, how you play the game is dictated by your loot, right? What loot you get. And so that's the reason why a lot of people in splits tend to like push someone, right? Because they need to find a kill to get more mobility, but the loot put is not that good. Whereas people in POIs usually come out with like really good stuff. Sometimes they get with the spaz and no mobility. In that case, I think you should double key, because no mobility is really bad for a stack game. And then sometimes they come out with the great attack and a ton of mobility. In that case, you just need to play really safe. Try to get impacts by ARing people like 2-3 blocks away from you in end game, and then tunneling over to it. Stuff like that. Don't try to fight someone box fight or anywhere closer than one box, because great attack is just not like sustainable in that case. 2 pads, perfect game plan. Your win condition right now is to max out your mats, which you already done, and just play the game. Literally just straight up don't lose mats and just play the game and you win. I'm not even kidding. And if that's what you've done, you're chilling, right? So
Yep.
and this is the case. This is that thing. This is how you be consistent, right? So I see you fought some people. We're gonna find out like how you fought those people. Maybe it wasn't your fault,
I
but I
forgot.
really think that you don't need to fight anyone, right? Green tack, right? Bad fighting weapon, and also launchpad. But we need to see the circumstance. Maybe it's a good fight to take. Maybe there's a third party. Like we really don't know, right? Those are all factors that we should take into consideration.
And also, in my opinion, if I get a spaz, right?
Yep.
I mean, I will probably still be like nervous or like I wouldn't like still take any fights.
Exactly. And I think confidence will come from you actually being good at the skill. And the skill in question right now is the fighting, right? That's what the skill is. We need to really make sure that we're good at fighting. And if you're not good at fighting, then that's where we have to work on. We have to practice it. There's no getting around practice in an esport, right? Yeah, so there's several people here. Okay, several reasons why there's bad fight. So you know there's at least one guy below you because you hear him shooting. You probably don't know that this guy's here, right? This guy in the corner. And you know there's one guy here. Anytime in solos when there's more than one and like it's more than a one-on-one, it's kind of bad to go in because it just becomes a stalemate, and that's what we see here, right? It's a stalemate, and so
no one's doing anything.
Exactly, and the only thing you're really gonna get out of this is straight up like time wasted and loot wasted. You're not gonna get better loot because of this fight, right? Maybe you could get a spaz, but the risk involved in this fight is not worth it, right? What I would do in this situation after you leave Slurpee, what I would mainly do right after Slurpee, because of the fact that you have bad shotgun and good launch pads, I would rotate like this. Obviously this is in the game right now because of season 8, and this
let me see.
I would just rotate this way, right? You know why? Why should I go this way?
Because that's
Exactly. And if you're not looking for a fight and you have max mats, 2 launch pads, this is the rotate you should do. I would literally go out to the water and start swimming like this. Not kidding. It should
that's
be
what I
this
usually
extreme.
do.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So then ask yourself, why did you do this game?
I don't know.
So then the problem is you're not actively thinking in game, right? While you're in game, when you actually do all this looting stuff, you should be reasoning with yourself. When I play Fortnite and I'm not in a fight or something and I'm trying to think of like the macro, the rotations and the game sense, I'm literally having a conversation with myself in my head. Okay, let me do this. Why is this good? Why should I do this instead? Is this better? Or should I like, you get what I'm saying? Like that's how you should think. And you should have a good reason to doing something. There's no good reason to doing this, right? You don't need anything. You have 2 pads. That's exactly my point. And even though you get the kill, doesn't necessarily make it right. Because if this is a high elo lobby, it would not work. Does that make sense?
Alright.
And also, the element of playing to your strength. If you're not confident about fighting, then in general, just playing a little bit safer could help you. Because obviously, having confidence is very important in a fight, in any sort of skill, like fighting especially, right? Because it's a very nerve-wracking skill.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you did a good thing, run away. So we'll speed it up a little bit, see what happens in a little bit. So this guy actually jumps on you. Right?
Yeah.
So now a lot of people in this situation, not you or I, but a lot of other people would say, this is not my fault. This guy jumped on me. What would you say to that statement?
That's not true, because if I wasn't there in the first place.
Yes. If you weren't in the proximity of these guys, you purposely walked up to be in the range, then yeah, this guy would never be in your perspective. So that goes, there's an element of learning here. If you walk in really open areas, you can actually see a lot more, which allows you to avoid people a lot easier. Does that make sense? So for example, this area of the map, walking up and down the hills is really scary sometimes because of the fact that someone could be on top of the hill that you're walking next to and then immediately
you don't see
them. Exactly. Whereas walking like somewhere really open, like this area, is way safer, right? You might get tagged once or twice by some faraway person, but in general, you have a lot more vision. You have a lot more LOS. You can see a lot of people far away. The first time you see someone is going to be someone really far away. So you have a good enough warning to avoid that. Maybe deviate, go somewhere else. Does that make sense? So then that's why instead of going into the woods, I would literally just go left, like really open. And then once you're out in the ocean, like you're chilling, right? Because everyone's really far away. That makes sense. So that you get a good enough warning that someone's close to you. This guy just jumps on you, and the main reason, like as we discussed, is the fact that you were close to this fight. You asked for it, right? You're interested in fighting. You got close to them, and this guy will jump on you. That's the main thing. So if you get scuffed, if you get scuffed as a result of this, I don't know because I haven't watched this game yet. But if you get scuffed as a result of this fight, you only have yourself to blame, and that's a good thing because if you have only yourself to blame, that means you're in control, right? That means it's your fault. You can change it. Anything that's not your fault, you cannot change, right? Because inherently, it's not something that you caused. That's what you're saying when you say that, right? But if you say it's your fault, then you have the ability to change it, and I think that's a really powerful thing.
So for this fight, is there anything like that you see?
So far, so good. I love it. Okay, so inherent understanding of peaks. The reason you immediately make a wide edit, you get a good footwalk. You know this is not your wall, but that's okay. You immediately switch to a window because you can see him with a shotgun looking at you. So you switch to a window and then go for this. So that was a good attempt. I like it.
I should. All right.
I mean, you're right. Like maybe there's like some small detail you could have done better, but the understanding is what I care about. That was good. 79 damage. Understanding that you're ahead on HP, but you have to also understand you're not ahead by that much, right? So the way you're playing. So first of all, I would not run up to the wall like this because why?
Yeah, he could just make a edit and just shoot me.
Yeah, he could make a right hand window and full box you, and now you're dead, right? Or you're forced into a 50-50 that you might not want to be in. Right? He might do a dumb move that you don't like, and then he just forces a 50-50, and then someone wins, and you don't really know who. So better angles in general, if you want to learn about this, is you place the cone right here to smack on his wall straight up. Instead of standing here, you stand here.
Yeah,
right? And you right hand peek. And the reason is because if he edits on you, you have this wall that you can place. You see this wall right here?
Yeah.
This wall allows you to have an extra surface. You notice how it's not possible if you're standing right here. There's no wall to place. It is just his wall. But if you stand here, not only are you right-handing the wall, not only are you getting a little bit better spacing, like you're further away as you're pickaxing, you're getting a good piece that you can place, right? And the only way he can abuse that if he edits and then pieces a left-hand piece control, which is really hard to do, right?
All right.
Kind of like this right here. This swing was good, right? Now the most important thing is you're doing it consciously. This is not good, right? This is what I would argue is not good. But I will say there is a way to like react to this. So if he edits, you can immediately flip your cone. But if he places the floor under you, now you're dead, right? You see that? See how you don't own both pieces below you? So the only way
I can just edit to my left, right?
Yes, but then he owns this wall. So if he's really fast, if he's really good, he gets you no matter what.
Oh.
So if you run out to the left and he anticipates it because he can see you, he can definitely full box you. It's very easy to do at a higher level. It's not even that complicated. Right? So the standing diagonal is the safest way to fix it. This is good. Now you have space, right? Once you own this box, now you're diagonal. Notice this. It's diagonal. This is not a good
yeah, that was what I think, yeah.
So you need to be more left, right? Do you see how left he is? Okay, let me watch this again so I can show you. This is very important. Yeah.
What edit do you think I should have made there? Or like...
yeah, I'll show you. That's actually a perfect edit. Okay, look. There is an edit. And it completely blocks his line of sight while giving you a line of sight.
Wait, is it at the bottom right? I did the bottom left.
Yeah, bottom right's exactly right. That's exactly right. And there's very something specific. Once you get the wall, you cannot select this tile first. Do you see that?
Yeah, because it's
well, no, sorry. You can, but you need to look here at it, right? You can look here at it and then like do a swipe like this. But that's inefficient. You'd rather just look here and then do a swipe like this. So that comes in the importance. This shows the importance of understanding how to do edits both ways, right? Because there's certain situations where doing an edit one way is way better. In this case, it's better to do this, not only because it's easier, right? Because your crosshair starts here, but also because of the fact that once you finish the edit, your crosshair is going to be perfectly aligned with the enemy, right? So that's good crosshair placement, right? But if you do it the other way, your crosshair is going to be really bad, so then aim is really difficult. Now, do you notice how left he is, right? We'll switch to him in a second. Let me actually turn name tags on so I can switch to him. Notice how left he is compared to, like, in his box, he's all the way to the left corner. This means he actually has a right-hand peek on you with the edit that you did, right? He actually does, right? Notice how some of it is covered. Honestly, if he was all the way in the corner, it's better. Yep, your crosshair placement's off too, right? There's several things. But if he was all the way in the corner, he gets you. But so when you're holding this edit, I would select the tiles. Don't release it, right? If I'm assuming you're on edit on release. Go all the way to the left, then release, and you should win. Very easily. Right? Because he's screwed. Honestly, what he should do is edit down, but he's not going to do that. Right? It gets a lot of damage. You do the correct thing and back up because you need to heal. Good job. Go up. Or this is good too. Going in the full build box. This is scary. So yeah, once he if he phases through the floor, he might phase through the cone. You might just be holding the floor. Does that make sense? So I'm just kind of scared.
No, I mean, if he phases through the thing, I would reset the
Yep. I would focus about he's gonna do a bad edit here. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Expand and then look to heal. Okay. So one thing you did here that's very bad. What is that? Do you know?
Not placing a cone.
No.
Or not holding my wall.
Yeah, maybe? You held your wall, which is very bad. Right? And I'll tell you why.
What do you mean? Let me see.
You see?
Yeah, but like, isn't it better to having me have the wall instead of him having the wall?
Yeah, but what if he got it? Then what?
Oh yeah, holding the wall in general.
Holding the wall is one of the biggest sins in Fortnite competitive.
Yeah.
It literally is. right? Because you're saying, okay, if I get the wall, nothing happens, like 0, neutral. If he gets the wall, I die. How is that in any way beneficial for you? You see what I mean? So like it's like a neutral outcome and then a very negative outcome. Rather, instead of holding walls, you should just edit. Like you should place a cone, edit, and then immediately expand. Because then you're not putting it up to chance, right? You're not putting it up to okay, whether I win this fight or not is dependent on who gets the wall. Because if he gets this wall, I guarantee he runs in and kills you.
Yeah, and
wait, now he does get the wall, right? And if he's faster with that, he gets the kill. So I would make more space if he's this close. Make a lot of space. A lot of pros, they tunnel like 3-4 boxes, and this is why a lot of fights are dictated by the first shot, because pros fight in such a way where none of them holding a wall because it's a bad habit, unless they have like some sort of cone flip that they can do. But even that, like we'll talk about why that's bad too. But in general, it's just bad to hold stuff. Just expand, make space, buy yourself time. One thing I will explain right now, right, is this. So first off, the one statement that you need to remember about expanding is this. Here, let's see. Let me switch to the correct brush. Okay, look. Let's say this is your box, right? You're in here, and then someone approaches here. Which way should you expand?
The opposite.
Yeah, so you should go this way, right? You should expand here. Now notice, it's a very bad habit in general to go through someone's build, right? Because then they have no escape, they can only go backwards, which is awkward. So then he's gonna do this. Notice?
Yeah, usually people do that.
Who has the shorter path to get to the...
I do.
Exactly, which gives you extra time to pop a mini. So the general rule of thumb is like 1 box, 1 mini. Bigs are harder, you need to make more space. But in general, if you make this box really, really fast and close, reset, and then start popping the mini, you should be able to pop it off before he gets a second swing. Right? And notice when he gets a second swing on this wall, you don't want to hold it. You want to backwards ramp like this.
Yeah.
And then go here because it's the opposite direction. Right?
Yeah.
And then pop the second mini. You notice this, right? And then he's gonna do this. Right? He's gonna go the long way to get to you. And then you took a short path, right? You're gonna get the pin mini, you're gonna get the same mini off, right? So it's free heals. You should never die with mats in your inventory if you know how to expand properly. Does that make sense? So yeah, this is number 1 thing. So the two rules here that are very important is never hold a wall, right?
Wait, what if they come from below or above?
Yeah, opposite direction works in 3D. That's the beauty of it. If they come from below, that's what I was saying earlier, right? If you go back to the video, if he's coming from below, you should go up.
Wait, what if they're coming from up and like you're in the,
So that's where an inherent disadvantage happens. If you're ulti low and they're above you, they're winning the fight really hard because you have no direction to go to. That makes sense? So that's why being ulti low without a lot of space is really tough. Like if you're only 1 box ulti low and they're above you, you're probably gonna lose the fight. It's gonna be, if they're really good.
So I should like whenever it start fights, I should like try to go up like a layer.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, if you're on the defensive, you're not on ulti low, so you have options to go in all 6 directions. But if the case happens that you're ulti low, then you need to be really sneaky. You need to understand where they're looking. That there's stuff like that you can do to make sure that you don't get pieced. Okay. But yeah, I think you're too focused right now. Your playstyle is not ideal, right? You might be able to get some damage because he makes a bad peek, but you're relying on someone else making a bad peek, right? You need to be focused on this, what you have in your inventory. And trust me, with the mats that you have, you can actually pop off everything. Okay, so notice how scuffed you're getting, right? If you play correctly, you will get really scuffed, right? Because, you don't want to get, one shot by some random wall take and then you just die. So you need to play correctly, and then you're going to burn a lot of mats. Obviously, that's the con of expanding. However, this is all avoided with the very simple fact that we talked about the very beginning of the
rotating.
Yeah, exactly. This is how impactful going this way compared to this way is, right? It's almost like a completely different game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, it's very, very important that you don't go this way because of your loot. Your loot that tells you what to do. I need to play safe. Bad shotgun, good mobility. Okay, I have points if I don't fight anyone.
I feel like I should have like side jumped out, or like I feel like I should have went up, right?
Yeah. Okay. So why is this bad? I mean, okay, it's not that bad because you own this wall, but if this was his wall, and he's really good, he could have pieced this wall. That's why going sideways is really tough. However, you do have a right hand peek on him, so that's not that big of a deal. I like the hiding behind the cone, so that's good. Held the wall again, so if you imagine he tacks it and gets it, he immediately edits and full boxes you. So that's why the spacing is important, because obviously right here you have no choice but to hold the wall. Like, it's not really an option, right? So like it's kind of difficult. So I would just argue, like, instead of trying to hold the wall, it'd probably be better to just keep expanding, make multiple boxes, make a box here, backwards ramp. So instead of the ramp looking like this, it would be backwards while you're facing this way, and just make out 3 boxes in metal, and then you have a lot more space to work with. Hey, you like that you go up? It's good. Nice. Looking for the pre-fire. Good right hand peek. Good damage. See how you held the wall? But he got it, right? But the problem is, okay, so the benefit is that this is a situation we're going to talk about, where you have a cone in your box, but you hold the wall, right? People think it's okay to have a cone in your box, but you hold the wall. So notice, when you flip the cone, what HP do you think it is? Is it good HP or low HP?
It's one shot.
Yeah, exactly. So what he's going to do is he's going to take the wall and shoot you out. 100% you're not making it up here. I know it before. I haven't watched this video before. You're not going to come up. Because this wall is the cone's 1 HP, he's gonna shoot it, he's gonna replace it, and then you're gonna be stuck in a 50-50.
I got a question.
He has an advantage. Yeah, what's up?
Whenever I do that, should I like hold a stair, like just in case, like if it does?
Yeah, you should get if you're in a desperate situation like this and you're trying to go up. First of all, I wouldn't even try to go up because of the whole thing like go in the opposite direction. So you should go this way, right? Because if you go this way, notice how him taking the cone doesn't interrupt your flow, right? Like of your movement.
Yeah.
But you going up. And he takes the cone, you fall right back in the box, and then you're like forced into a 50-50 that you don't want. Okay?
Yeah.
So, one thing we can agree with. I know you get this kill because I can see it right here. It came down to aim. It's straight up, this fight just came down to aim. Right? Oh, actually, wow, he didn't shoot. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. Okay, so he really holds up to his name. Okay. He really should have shot. He has attack, right? Like he could have literally attacked it once and it fell. You fall. So that's definitely the right move on his end. He has a right hand peek everything. So okay, so I take it back. It didn't come down to him. He made a misplay and you got away with it. But notice how better players will beat you there. And we always want to be training and practicing from a perspective of like I'm about to face high-low players, like the people in the high-low lobbies, right? Because you want to be prepared for that. There's no point in playing a tournament if you can get past the mediocre lobbies and then do really bad in the high-low lobbies because of your playstyle. It's very important. Okay, good.
Okay.
We're chilling. We're doing good now. So now you just need to refresh and get your mats back up. But again, we talk about it. Well, I'm going to keep repeating this because it's very unnecessary risk. When Zayt made his stream way back, like maybe a year ago, I would say, he streamed and VOD reviewed a bunch of trios. The #1 topic that he talked about was risk. Taking unnecessary risk in Fortnite competitive is literally the #1 thing that a lot of pros still do to this day. Okay? And it's really, 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 really bad. And I really think, they should fix it because it's something that I think a lot of players are making the mistake of. If you just play safe,
not taking a risk.
Not rotating to the left when you have max mobility. What do you gain? What do you stand to gain out of this fight? Right, it's 1 kill point. Whereas if you're scuffed and you don't have mobility and you have a spaz maybe, or like even a decent shotgun, it makes sense to fight. You should fight for mobility. You should fight for loot, right? Because later on, if you don't have mobility, it's going to be really tough to do well in that end game. Does that make sense? If you don't understand that, then let me know because I can explain it further.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, because mobility is like coupons for mats, right? This is stored. Each launchpad is a stored 300 mats. Does that make sense? So that you technically have like 120 plus 90 builds. You have a lot more mats than everyone else. Whoever has the most mats in endgame can just play a really safe, non-risky game and just win the game. That's how it works, right?
Alright.
So that's the benefit of learning macro. Like really good macro, like you don't need good mechanics, you don't need good micro. Really good macro, a good sign of macro or a good sign of game sense is understanding like, okay, if I do this really well, if I do this macro right, I can mess up on everything else. I can mess up on my aim, my mechanics, my edits, and I'll still do good, right? That's a good sign of game sense. Like you mess up on everything else and you still like win the game or do like top 3 or something like that.
Yeah, but it's like necessary to like have a little bit of micro, like because you have to take fights.
Yes. In an ideal situation, in like a practical sense, micro is very good because not every situation is like perfect. Does that make sense? Like for example, in the situation where you try to run up the cone, I would say that's bad macro because of the fact that you should know that he can actually shoot your cone away and then you fall. Right? That comes from experience. But like if you do good macro, expanding in the opposite direction, then you won't have that situation. However, micro is a really good complement to all your macro skills. You can execute your macro skills better if you have good micro skills. And sometimes you end up in situations where you have to take a 50-50. It's actually good macro to take a 50-50 in some cases. Let's say you have 2 builds. You see an opportunity to jump in on a kid who has like no awareness of you. In that case, it's correct to jump in. You have to, right? If you don't do that, you will just die slowly in endgame. It's not a good play, right? So then you jump in and then micro comes into play. You need to win that aim duel. Right, that's where it's actually really beneficial. Micro has like really good importance in the game of Fortnite, in my personal opinion.
I don't know why I'm like rotating in the middle.
I think you're okay. You're good. It's not a bad spot. You're chilling. Like again, safe. You need to just play safe the rest of this game because of your mat. Your loot is screaming to me. You literally have the tools required to get top 2. So then safety is the biggest thing.
Do you think that's a good fit?
Yeah, like the window and the cone. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Luger used to do it all the time. Get more clarity. I'd walk in as deep as possible. Up there to force center third here. Nice. Okay, I like this. I like this push.
What push?
Or not even like push for center, right? You're going deeper.
Oh, alright.
Okay. You get into a fight though. I think the main reason this happens is because you... Actually, let's watch it because I actually don't understand why it happens. Let's watch it back.
Alright.
Very good. No, we need to go back further. Hold up. This is important to understand.
I feel like this entire session is gonna be about VOD.
It's gonna be what?
About VOD reviewing.
Yeah. I think that's fine. I think you can learn a lot in one game. If I like make it that way, I think you can.
All right.
And I think honestly, you can do that on your own time as well. 100%, right?
Do you think I should use my cal here?
Yeah. Because the duration usually is a lot. Like it's way more than you usually use. So there's no harm in using your cal. I actually think I think honestly you came up with the solution. This is why I think people should VOD review more. Like people underestimate their critical thinking skills. Like you have it. Like you just came up with a solution, right? It's like literally okay. First of all, let's talk about this. I'm actually trolling with the replay system, but let's talk about this. First of all, your rotate here was really good, right? Because you're pushing for center because you understand there's a really clear path here, right? And center third is really beneficial because if you're dead center third, where my camera is, if you're right here, you guaranteed fourth pole. However, being all the way here is probably not that good because of how open it is. Like everyone can see you. So I would probably push to like right here and then just base up like maybe in the tree up here or something like that. So like just base up somewhere in this cluster, right? So that less people can see you, or just like get really close, maybe base up on this rock, like somewhere closer to center, right? That way you still have like an 80% chance of pulling down. One thing I've noticed you did is you went under the hill, which cuts the line of sight of the people that sprayed at you, right? These guys sprayed at you, so you go under the hill and then they no longer spray at you. So that's good macro, okay? And then you push further, you just came up with a solution. If you have a cal, you can actually get really deep, right? You can get like up to here or even past them and then base up on this or something like that, right? Which would be really good. And also you show good understanding of the fact that center 30 is really nice. However, this position kind of sucks because of the fact that you're forced into a fight, you're in wood, and also a decent amount of people can see you. This guy can see you. These guys can, actually they can't really see you, so the trees are benefiting there. So in general, I think that you have good macro, like you do. You just need to be more disciplined. It shows understanding to me, like you're showing to me that you get it, right? But you need to be more disciplined in the sense of like off spawn. Like you knew what to do. You need to go dead side. You even came up with, you even told me the fact that you need to go dead side, right? Like I didn't tell you that. That was all in your brain from the beginning. You have the information. It's just you need to do it. You know what I mean? A lot of people in Fortnite and other skills in general really feel like just knowing the mistake is enough. That's actually not true at all, right? Not knowing the benefits of dead side is not the same thing as actually using the benefits of dead side in a real game. The only time the mistakes are fixed or the rewards come from actually VOD reviewing and practicing comes when you actually apply it in the tournament. Does that make sense? So a lot of people will like practice a lot, do really well in scrims, and then when it comes to tournament time, get really nervous and then go back to their old habits. Obviously, the result is just going to be the same as 2 months ago because you're just playing in a way where you're not applying all the concepts you learned. So in this case, really remember the next tournament you play, next solo cash grab, next solo play versus, you're really focused on the concept you're learning in this video. Okay.
All right. So in this, in my opinion, I think that's like the best. Like that's a better pick if the other guy was on the auto on the left, right?
Oh yeah. Wait, let me understand. Let's go back actually. What were you asking?
So like if I was on auto on the left side and the other guy was on the left side.
In this case, it would be even. So I think both of you guys, no one would have a peek. I don't even know if both of you would see each other if you guys go but in this corner. Does that make sense? If you're both in the corner, I don't think anyone sees each other. Maybe, but then no one would have a peek if both of you move all the way to the left. But in this case, he's not all the way to the left, right? So if you move all the way to the left, you can. Right now, I know you can see him before he sees you. Oh no, actually, it's not true. it's because you're not all the way to the left. That's the biggest reason. You see this gap? If you're here and he's there, you see him. It changes completely.
Yeah.
right?
Oh my god, he's like looking at my entire body.
Yeah, exactly, and you can't see him at all.
Wait, but can you shoot me though?
Yes,
like,
he can shoot you. 100%. He can do damage to you right now.
Alright.
So the
I was
reason,
thinking about, like,
I thought you were in the corner, like all the way in the corner, but you're not. So that's the biggest reason why he can see you. So
I think I was moving to the corners. If you
that?
like,
yeah, if you're moving.
I think.
Yeah, exactly. And now you could see it, but he built the wall, obviously, right? So moving left is a general good movement to do to create right hand peaks. And obviously, you know, you have these tools where you can like look into replay, you can pause it and like, okay, am I doing a good peak here? You switch back and forth between you and the opponent. Okay, like who sees who? You can do this, right? This is all in your hands to actually do it.
Yeah, he just jumps in.
Yeah, so in this case, when he's getting closer, I would reset. Because he can just jump in and run in like this, right? So this is scary. This is a complete 50-50. However, you're winning. In this case, when you're winning, yeah, I would now start to embrace the 50-50 because of the fact that like you see that he hasn't hit you a lot, right? During the fight, you should be looking down at your HP bar. Be like, okay, am I healthy? Am I healthy or am I low? And then that decides what you should do. Since you're healthy and you hit him white, like really hard, yeah, full on 50-50 him now because you win. You should just straight up 50-50. Nice.
Didn't guess I get a peek or like.
That was a good peek. That's a peek. Yep.
Yeah, you should like do that a lot. I just jumped down.
Yeah,
or like.
Let me explain why that was a good peek. Because I actually think it's important. A lot of people, that's not a conventional peek. But I'll explain. It's a right hand peek as well, but it's a peek in general, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, I got it from like a pro or like, you know, I was watching a video.
Yeah, so notice, right? Right now you don't have your gun out, correct?
Yeah.
Like you're working to get your gun out. You're not exposed to him, so it's not a danger. It's not like he can shoot you while you're pulling your gun out. But as you're falling, by the time you fall, you'll have your gun out, right? If we play a complete slow motion. Gun out. And now you can shoot.
Yeah.
Now you expose each other, and you have right hand peek on him. Right?
Yeah, what about him? Like his point of view. He can still shoot me.
Yeah. But notice if I go back slightly, you see him first. That's the key. Right? That's the key thing. Is that you can see him first.
It's like reaction time, right?
Yeah, but you have an advantage because of the fact that you have a bigger window of time to react to him because you can see him first because of the what do you call it? Nature of the right hand peek. So let's play it normally.
Right.
And I'll slow it down when we get to that point, and I'll show you. Ready? You can shoot his feet. He cannot see you.
Yep. Alright.
So now your brain is starting to react. Oh, I can start to shoot him. He has no reaction time. He doesn't know, right? He doesn't have this outline. Like, he can't see you. Still, right? He just starts to see you. Look at his figure.
Yeah, I can see his whole body.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the point, right? So right hand peeks are good. Pretty obvious, but no one actually abuses them hard enough. Pros are the ones that abuse the basics very hard. And that's why they're pros. Right? Like, there's no way he reacts. No humans reacts that quickly. Like, there's no way, right? You shot him pretty quickly, I would say. And I think that's why you won the fight. Also, in general, I know he has a gold spaz, but if you play it in a way where it's like, oh my god, he can one pump me when he's 1 HP and you're 167, as long as you do a peek like you did, I think you're fine. I honestly think it's practical. This is way more practical. The theory is like, okay, don't 50-50 or don't like be in really close range so he doesn't one pump you. But I think you have to play into human reaction times as well. And the fact that, you know, you did a right hand peek or a really good peek, you even gave yourself cover to pull out your gun. You can actually kill him easily, very easily here.
Yeah,
I really think
I made
so.
a habit of like whenever I'm in this box with someone, like I try to like not, you know, try not to make it a 50-50 as possible, even though we're in the same box.
Yeah. I mean, great fight. I actually think you played this well. The very last bit, the last 20 to 30 seconds of it, I think you did really well. You 100% deserve this kill. Yeah, this is a big difference from the first fight. I think the first fight wasn't played that well, but this one played very well. Now you have 4 pads. So this is where endgame's going to come into play, and I think the endgame's going to be the hard part. I don't think the endgames are ever played like really perfectly. Sometimes pros have like perfect endgames, but like it's really rare. I think it's there's always mistakes. Because it's so chaotic, right? It's very difficult to actually play correctly.
Yeah.
It's very easy to go back into VOD and be like, oh, here you should have done this, here you should have done this. But if you're playing, I make mistakes all the time in endgame. It's just because like it's real time. Like you have to deal with it. This is good. You won't pull half F, but you will be very close. You can actually just short pad into half F. You should always use your pads early here, I think. My plan is short pad into half F, double pad first moving, and then pad second moving. All pads gone, you're still going to be 130 builds. Okay? That's really strong. I think that would be the perfect thing. And then after using all your pads, now you're all of a sudden, right? You teleported to and middle of second moving, 0 pads, 130 builds. what is the best play you can do there? And we haven't watched the game yet. What's usually the best thing you should look for?
Let's play it safe.
Or
yes. Go to zone.
Yes.
Like focus on zone.
I fully agree. But what's one way that you can look to like start like securing the game, winning the game?
Going that side?
Nope.
Or like looking up at height?
Yes. Why? Why do we have the leverage of looking up at height compared to height? We don't even know who the height player is yet, right? We haven't watched the game. But why do I know height is going to be a very easy option for you this game?
No, because I got more mats than height.
Hella mats. Yeah, you have so many mats, right? And you have to remember, launch pads are mats, right? So like I said, you can skip half rotate, all of first moving, and half of second moving with these launch pads. And that's going to give you a lot of mats by the time you finish all of that. And we haven't even talked about the cal, but we'll just ignore you. You have a cal right here. Like you have so much mobility. This is such a good game, and I mean it shows, right? You got top 3. It shows. But like I would love to talk about how you can win this game because we're all about improvement, right? We need to be in the mentality that top 3 is not good enough. And honestly, in this game, I think you should have won. Should be in that mentality.
I think I remember why I lost.
That's okay. I think we can work it out for sure. Yeah, we'll skip through this sort of lull state.
Yep.
I would argue that shooting this guy is not worth it. Notice how, okay, I'll show you something. I'll show you something about why this window edit is bad. And also the fact that you're leaving it open for a very long time. Let's say there's a guy in this box, okay? Right? There's a guy like somewhere here. He has a right-hand peek on you. He can actually snipe you from here, somewhere here. And I want you to notice where my camera is, right? Like right of this, like right beside this tree, like right here. Let's say there's a box right here. You actually don't see this. From your perspective, you have no idea, right? You don't see it.
Wait, is that the same tree?
Yeah, it's the same tree. This is like I pointed out right here, right? From your perspective, you can't see right of the tree.
I
there
can't see
could literally be a box right here with the sniper looking at you. You won't know.
Yeah, usually at the end game like these, I don't know what edits to make to like.
General rule of thumb in this game, I would AFK.
Oh,
question is, do you need anything?
Nope.
The likelihood of you getting an AR kill, not an impact, but just like a straight up AR kill right now is like next to 0. Right? It's very, very small. So ARing something is just you being bored. It's not actually beneficial. That makes sense? Like, I think right now, you should just sit in a cone and not edit. And just wait. Wait until half up. It's a good thing if you have to wait, right? That means you're ahead of everyone else. All the people that are fighting, either they're bored and doing the same mistake as you, or they need something, right? They need something to do on endgame. And in that case, they're not in a good spot compared to you. You're in a really good spot. So all you need to do is, again, unnecessary risk. Play really safe. This could literally be a death from you, right? And someday, maybe not even in 10 games it doesn't happen, but someday it will, and it will ruin your tournament. Right? One game is enough. One game messed up is enough to ruin a tournament. So general rule of thumb, AFK when you have like really good mats and really good, loot. If you really, that's like a sort of band-aid fix. If you want to learn good peaks, that's a good way to do it. It mostly comes from experience and getting side shot sniped a lot. So you learn the hard way. But also, another rule of thumb is like don't leave an edit open for more than 2 to 3 seconds. Right? Because 2 to 3 seconds is the time where someone starts to notice you have an edit open, they start looking at you. Right? If you open edit really quickly and then shoot and then quickly close, there's no way someone's already looking at you beforehand. Does that make sense? Like they're not looking at you straight up like full wall.
Usually, like whenever like I edit is like freshly built, like I just like if someone's like right next to me, I just hold the wall. Yep. Like if it's like fresh.
Very good habit. I learned that from Rex. I think like a year ago, and like I think it's something that pros do all the time now. Obviously, it's a very good standard, and it's a good habit to have. Very good habit to have.
Yeah.
So good for you on that. Okay, let's see what half up pulls. Pulls relatively close to you. I would just launch pad right now. It gets harder and harder later. See how more and more people are getting in half up? So if you go right away, actually Cal is good too, but this is I can't tell what's less risky. So I'll accept both. Launch pad or Cal. I don't really mind. Either way, you're good. I would go up. Nice. Perfect. Great rotate. Amazing. We won't overcomplicate it. We'll move on to the next zone because I think that was good. All you need to do now is just play safe. Yeah, so, okay, notice how he had the cone above you, right?
I didn't even see that because it was too fast.
Yeah, let me go back. I'll show you. So if he has something like that, what's that, sorry? I know.
Oh.
No, it was you, but I just switched right now.
Yeah.
Hold up, let me find you. There you are. So notice how, is this your cone? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So I would either fight for the cone again or just make another box. Because you have so many pads, right? You don't really care about wasting one more box. So this is bad. I would be worried about this because of the fact that your cone's fresh. Remember the thing we talked about fresh builds being really easy to break? He could edit this cone, take your floor, and without you realizing it, or you might be able to hear it because you can't see it, right? If you just edit this cone this way, and he could just like start aggressing you. So in that case, like because this box is kind of compromised because of the fact that the cone's not yours, I would just make another one right here. This is a good spot to go for, good direction to go for, because not only does it go dead side, but it inherently gives you a right hand peek on this guy, right?
Yep.
That's good. But this guy gets a hit on you, right? As you're jumping down. And now you're next to a bunch of walls that are not yours. So it's way better if you feel like you're in danger to expand a little bit earlier instead of panic expand. Does that make sense? Panic expanding sometimes gets you killed in a really good situation. That's your wall? Is it? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not his wall either, I think.
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't think so. I have no idea. Okay, we'll continue. I think you're still in a fine position. I would pop a big. 100%. You have 3. Right? So it's better to be higher HP. What are you thinking right now in your head?
Pad?
Yeah, good. Well, more specifically, the spot that you should find the pad. So you should be looking up.
Yeah, I was looking up.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I was.
If you do, that's good. Because you need to find that spot ahead of time. It's better. Also, I would not pad last second because of the fact that you're low ground. Someone could bury you. Like, someone could, like, ramp above you and then make more builds. I would probably not pad now, but a little bit, like, maybe in 10 seconds, I would start to pad.
Yeah, I was just looking up to see if there's a pad. Or, like, if I could place a pad. I usually pad last second.
I think this is okay, because no one built over here. So you're good to go. Yeah, this is fun. Watch out for height, but no one... In solos, it's generally better. It's much less risk-free compared to trios to glide. Like, only one person on height can really shoot you. Everyone else is distracted. This is good. I would pad again. I would not tarp. But I think you're going to tarp, because I don't think a lot of people will pad. If you pad, you're insane. You're very good if you pad. If you get height, you're insane too, actually. Either of those actually work really well. Oh,
wait, I don't think
okay, no, this is good. This is good. I like this. When I say pad, I mean mobility. So if you use a cow too, I'm good. Very good. You're expanding. Yeah, you're thinking about it. I like it. I could see it. Nice. Good job. Okay, now next on pulls. This is where you pad after the big. Or cow, right? But I think pad is safer. Nice, you reuse for use, yeah. Nice. I would not double dip. You need to save whites. This is good. I would pad again after zone pulls. You're doing great, by the way. You're playing really not risky at all. This is what I want to see. This is scary. Bad idea. Why? Why?
Because I'm like really high up and someone could shoot me.
Yeah, if someone shoots you now, you're dead. If someone breaks the cow now, you're dead. Because of the downward momentum you have. If you get out of the cow now, you die. The momentum, right? So that's why I'm saying pads in general are easier. But also, if you want a cow, you should like drop down to here and then cow, like in a safer way. Right? You see how hard you hit the ground? So if someone shoots you before you hit that ground, it just dies. So now, this is the risk of cows, right? In really congested areas. I think you kill this guy, but no, okay, this is good. I like that you try to get out. I would cone yourself here. This guy's gonna cone you, right? Oh, he didn't go for the cone. If he cones you, you're dead. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what you should be careful of. This site right here, this little snapshot should be very scary to you. First of all, the cow, obviously, it should be scary as well, but we'll ignore that for now. Right here, whose wall is this?
His wall?
Yeah, so if you ramp right here, right next to him, he is able to. He's actually another esports tower student. That's hilarious. But he's able to. Yeah. He's in one of our pods. He can cone you, right? So that's very scary.
Yeah. I do notice usually I don't do like double edits when I like go out.
Yeah. I think you should defensively piece control yourself there. This is not your floor, I think.
I think it is. Wait, is it?
Let's find out. Let's find out. I don't think so. But I could be wrong. See, I went back a little bit. Where are you? You're right here. Ooh, you're right. Nice. Yep. I'm actually big boomer. Nice, that's an edit.
No.
Does he know you're here or not?
No. He's
Why?
like in the opposite direction.
Yeah, he's looking completely opposite direction. This is what Ree is really good at doing, by the way. He understands that this guy has no clue. This is where you make what edit, by the way.
A wide edit.
Yep. Wide edit is possible. Something easy to reset, maybe like a 4 square here, like a peanut butter is good too. Like something easy to shoot him. Just make it as easy as possible to shoot him, right?
I mean, I didn't do it.
This is okay. This is okay. It's not that bad. The wide edit or small edit is not the biggest part of the thing. The biggest, the biggest thing I want to make sure you're doing is editing on him. I don't actually care that much if it's wide edit or small edit. That's like a minor detail. So good. You got an impact, right? I would start looking for like places to pad because this. Nice. Let's go. Okay, I love that. I'm very happy.
Oh, yeah, I know how I died here. It's pretty embarrassing.
No, it's okay. Trust me, every pro even has like really embarrassing moments in Solo Cash Cup. Solo Cash Cup is designed so that you have embarrassing moments. It's solos, right? That's how it works. Nice. Okay, you should pressure him back. You should shoot.
I don't think I can secure.
You didn't take that much damage. You should recognize this. Hey, I hit him for like 150 and I didn't take any at all. So I should try to like kill him. Maybe not all in, but you have height for sure. That's good. Let me guess, you fell off height? You done?
You'll see.
I mean, okay, look, I don't actually care about the accidental stuff, right? I'm sure it's like, okay, it's bad that you lost the game, but if your macro is solid, that means your foundation is solid and you're going to be consistent in future games. That's all I care about, seriously. I care about whether you're making the good decisions or not. Only thing I care about. Even mechanics I don't care about, because mechanics is not something that you can VOD review. I can only point out, okay, your aim needs to be improved. I can't say, oh, yo, aim better. You know what I mean? Like I can't, and then like suddenly like tomorrow you start aiming better. Aim and mechanics take time to fix. In general, that's just how it works. But in-game decisions, they can be fixed really fast once you know about them. That's where VOD reviewing is useful.
Alright. How do you think I died here?
I have no idea. I literally cannot think of one possible way you could lose this game.
What?
I'm not kidding. I have no idea. I think someone pads on. I don't know. I literally could not guess. You put a gun to my head and said guess. I really couldn't. I'm not kidding. I do think that you're standing on someone else's code, so maybe using these builds. Like, think about it. Your loft zone only has like 10 to 20 to 30 seconds. Like, actually, it's 46 seconds, but it's not that much. You can use your builds. I would stay up. There's someone behind you, isn't there? Or did he leave? I think he left. Yeah, he's not in the book. Nice. You have 5 builds left. That's still a lot. I would just continue spraying. Yep. Stand on the wall. Very good. Just keep spraying. Very good. Reading my mind. And then you can just floor ahead. Yep. Being very conservative. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing right now. I have no idea how you die. Oh, do you run out of mats and not realize? I can't tell. Making me very anxious. You lose the heal off or something?
I forgot. No,
this is not embarrassing. This is fine. I'm not even kidding.
No, but like...
The only other play would be to stay up on height, but I don't think you win. You know why? Both these guys have chuck cannons. How do you win? You can't win. You can win, but that's only if these guys make a mistake, right?
Who do you think wins here? Wait, before you play, who do you think wins here?
I don't know. Maybe this guy. I'll put my money on this guy.
Okay.
Because he got your siphon and also he has more HP. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think you have the leverage to win this game, but notice, right? Height is really consistent because it gives you like, at least top 3, and then whether you get top 3 or not is like, the chuck cannon or like heal off. The biggest reason why heal off happened in this game is because zone kept pulling back and forth, which means a lot of people get, they can use old builds and also just run past, people's enemy builds. So it pulled this way and then pulled back and then pulled back. Do you see that? So that means this area has been reused a lot of times, which gives everyone a ton of mats, right? Because they don't need to build as much. That means there are a lot of people's mats can extend to the final heal off zone. That makes sense. Do you have any questions?